Now, welcome back to the MC Lang Telang Show here on Mzuko Kibao TV. Now, remember one thing: you must have followed or you must have subscribed. Asanteni sana for keeping it here on this particular show time. Now, I'm glad to be hosting again. His name is Oloo, or I'd call him Omondi Oloo. He's a political analyst, and of course, among other responsibilities within our society. Now, Omondi, you're aware that the President of the Republic of Kenya is currently at the lake side, or I would call it the lake belt.
Sure.
Launching quite a number of very valuable projects. What is your take on that? Now, with regard to the previous historical economic injustices, on whether or not Nyanza was being left out when a lot was going to the mountain, when a lot was going to the coast and other regions within the country. Sure.
Thank you very much for hosting me once again.
Welcome.
To our viewers, I'm Omondi Oloo, and I've also been baptized of late. I'm also a student of Carrick football.
Congratulations.
Because I believe in the philosophy of Carrick and what Manchester United
is Manchester United
currently doing. So I was baptized.
Okay.
But now back to what we are talking about. I think for the first time in history,
Sure.
Nyanza region, and not only Nyanza region, the western part of Kenya, is getting the fair share of the cake. Because you realize for a very long time since independence, Nyanza region or western part of Kenya have not got the they are getting today. So one, it is something to celebrate and to thank the president, to be very specific, Dr. William Ruto, because if it is not as a result of goodwill, those things will not be happening in that area. As much as our constitution recognizes Kenya as a regional country, where when we are distributing resources, each region is supposed to get the fair share of the cake.
Sure.
But since independence, we have never seen that happen. So I think Ruto being in the lakeside part of Kenya is a good thing for that region, because Ruto being there, they're getting a lot of resources that at the end of the day is going to grow that area economically. Because again, you're even seeing him trying to open that area, which is the first step towards improving economy of a given environment.
Okay.
Yes.
We have this tendency of attaching politics to development. And many people tend to, equate what President Ruto is trying to do at the Lake Belt with his, front for a second term. How do you get that?
People are only refusing to be honest.
Okay.
Politics, leadership, and governance cannot be separated. If you want good leadership or you want development, you must do good politics.
Okay.
So it means that for us even to get a leader who at the end of the day is going to give us development that we desire, they must do first of all politics to get to such environments.
That is true.
And Kenya, to be specific, is a political country. There's nothing you can do in Kenya as a politician that people will pick positively minus involving politics. Because again, the leaders that we have are political leaders. They're not only leaders, they're political leaders. Okay. So in my view, I think as Kenyans or the society we are in need to amalgamate what is called politics, development, leadership, and governance. Any of these four left alone will not work. Because look, if you pick development and you leave aside politics, you will not do it.
Sure.
Because you'll realize there are some regions or there are areas, there are people in this country that if they don't politically support you, then you cannot even find an opportunity to take to them development.
You're right.
They'll throw you with stones, they'll hurl abuses at you, so you'll not even get the conducive environment to go and take that development. So politics need to give us the conducive environment. Okay. That is what Kenya is. It is what it is. Okay. So we cannot run away from it.
Omondi Oloo says it as it is. Now, to what extent does Ruto, honored his bromance with the late Raila Odinga? Because I'm very sure they sat down and they had certain strategies for Nyanza, and currently a lot is happening, according to you.
Ruto and Raila Odinga, I'm beginning to now read Ruto and Raila Odinga very differently. Ruto and Raila Amolo Odinga, I think they were great buddies, great friends, great politicians who were together. And they had a long-term strategy on how they could capture power and ensure that Kenya is brought to its level. Because Raila Amolo Odinga was the greatest enemy of the system then. And all those that wield power could not allow Raila Amolo Odinga to be president.
Sure.
Because you can even see what we watched on NTV about the 2007 elections. So I think Dr. Ruto and Raila Amolo Odinga, they schemed to get to power, after which they would want to make Kenya better. Because if you look at the blueprint of Raila Amolo Odinga 2007 and you look at the blueprint of Dr. William Samoei Ruto currently, it is one.
Sure.
So Ruto is only doing what they wanted to do by 2007.
Sure.
So Ruto and Raila Amolo Odinga, I feel these were two great politicians who had one thing in mind. So they only looked for a strategy through which they could get power, they could get an opportunity to ensure they take Kenya to the level they wanted to take Kenya by 2007.
Okay.
So Raila and Ruto, it is one thing. And they had one agenda for Kenya. Because even before Raila Amolo Odinga died, he talked about Kenya going to first world.
Okay.
And if you look at Ruto, even after Raila died, he's talking about taking us to Singapore, which is a first
More or less
world.
the same thing.
More or less the same thing.
Sure.
It's only that they're using different terminologies to talk about the same thing, which Kenyans really understand. So I think Ruto and Raila is one thing, is only that they looked for different strategies to get power so that they could achieve one single thing that they wanted to achieve by 2007.
There are whispers that, perhaps the president is actually strengthening UDA party at the expense of the ODM party. I believe you're a member of the ODM party.
Yes, I am.
What are the hearsays within your ODM party?
In politics, you must pull the string towards your side.
Sure.
Before Ruto loves ODM currently, he must build UDA because that is the ruling party. Ruto cannot strengthen ODM and weakens UDA.
That is true.
He has to strengthen UDA. So it is now ODM, we members of ODM, to be very smart enough to know how to operate and know what to do to ensure that ODM remains strong. Because I've not seen what Ruto has done in terms of strengthening UDA that is risking the strength of ODM. Because you look at UDA, by 2022, it was strong in Mount Kenya. ODM was not there in Mount Kenya. UDA was strong in Rift Valley. ODM was not strong in Rift Valley. Currently, Ruto is only trying to make UDA be strong in the regions it was strong before.
Sure.
I've not seen Ruto go to Nyanza region, for example, to take away ODM from areas it was strong.
Sure.
It is only that by the virtue that ODM and UDA are trying to make what is called a working agreement towards 2027 that would birth a coalition. So there are some in the party who are feeling that it should be like a church game. It is politics.
Yeah, sure, you're right.
And if it is politics,
There have to be cards under the table.
yeah, there had to be cards.
Okay.
For UDA and ODM to work together, it means that ODM must bring something to the table. And at the same time, UDA must bring something to the table. So in terms of each party's interest, each party must work independently to bring numbers to the table.
Okay.
Ruto must also work independently with UDA to bring numbers on the table. Okay. So that when we go to forming an alliance, then ODM can bargain with what it has.
Sure.
UDA can also bargain with what it has. So that when we are forming government, we are forming a government based on the strength that you have on the grassroots.
Okay.
So Ruto is just doing what is right politically. Ruto need not to leave UDA to die to strengthen ODM.
But
it
it brings us to the aspect of zoning. Don't you think we're going to have a rough ending, towards the tail?
I don't think. If you read even world politics, zoning is all over. Go even to America.
Sure.
There are regions that we call blue regions.
You're right.
There are regions that are left specifically for Democrats.
Yeah.
There are regions that are left specifically for Republicans. So ODM and UDA are only trying to teach us what politics now is. The real politics. Yeah, because human beings, especially in matters of politics, we are driven with two major things: love and fear. Machiavelli tells us that a prince, for you to rule for a very longer time, you need two major things, but you need one which is most important: fear. So human beings will choose what to love, but you can make them fear what you want. You know,
I think that is wisdom in every aspect.
Yes.
Sure.
So ODM, there are lovers of ODM who have chosen to love ODM. You get the point?
Sure.
So they should be given their space. It means that in that sphere, they should be allowed to support ODM.
Okay.
And therefore, as much as we are forming an alliance with the UDA should not bring interference.
Okay.
Just the same way, ODM cannot go to where UDM is strong. And by the virtue that they are working together, it brings interference in UDA strongholds. So, in my view, I really support ideas of zoning, because it is what is also going to give these parties strength in parliament. Because, you know, the strength of a party is not just seen on the streets.
Sure.
There are times that now we need a party to be strong in parliament. Now when we need to pass policies of government or to pass policies that are going to help the people.
Sure.
Because these parties, ideally, they are representing the people at the end of the day in parliament. So if my member of parliament, unfortunately, Karoli Omondi is confused, is running tanga-tangering, he doesn't know which party took him to parliament.
Sure.
As members of Suban South constituency, we believe that our member of parliament need to represent us.
Karoli.
And in representing us, we also have parliamentary groupings, which must also sometimes give directions to these members of parliament, because they are the ones that carried these members of parliament to the environments they are in. So I don't think Ruto is trying to finish ODM by strengthening UDA.
Okay.
He's just doing what he's supposed to do.
Sure.
So ODM, we are also just supposed to do what we are supposed to do, so that we maintain our strongholds, so that we go to the bargaining table with a basket that is full of members of ODM, so that we get a better cake at the end of the day.
I want to give you a practical example. I have a very formidable force in the name of Honorable Dorothy Otieno, who is going for the MP for Rongo. She has made inroads into Rongo constituency. But you see, being a member of the UDA party, there are ODM members who still feel that she just has to come with ODM for her to be what? To be accepted. In as much as she is giving Oburu a run for his money, what do you have to tell us about the hypocrisy within the broad-based, setting? And definitely, just how comfortable are we with each other, the ODM fraternity and the UDA fraternity? Exactly.
You're right. You're very right. But people are missing one thing. Politics, we are not lovebirds. We come together because of interests, not love.
Okay.
What ODM wants is what UDA wants. So they converge. It doesn't mean that UDA doesn't want the Orongo seat. They want it. If they can get an opportunity to pick it, they can pick it.
Okay.
But like I told you, people choose to love what they want. But fear can be created so that you fear what the other person wants.
Okay.
So in the case of this lady, the lovers of ODM know the person as an individual.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, party politics comes.
You're right.
Where are we safe in terms of the party? Which party has ideologies that are resonating with our people? That is why you'll realize at the end of the day, people would see Otieno Dorothy as a very good leader.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, it will stop when we're asking, which ticket is she going to have?
Sure.
She's now going to have a UDA ticket. Now you see people begin frowning because they have a feeling something has been given to our people, or all those that are doing politics, to feel that your party can serve you best.
Okay.
As much as it is an individual who will work better within that party to bring resources home. Okay. Yes.
So what is your take on somebody like Dorothy Otieno, who believes that, she holds the interest of the people of Rongo at heart, yet there are still selective few who think that, coming with the UDA party is
So, at that point, if Otieno has the interest of the people at heart,
yes,
she wants to serve the people.
You're right.
It means that she can serve the people when she's a member of parliament. You get the point?
Yeah, sure.
So, the end justifies the means. first of all, get to that position because you want to serve the people.
Sure.
If you've realized the people don't want the ticket you're coming with, you are not.
I didn't say the people. Selective few.
Selective still the people.
Yeah, because definitely UDA is already making inroads, and that is what is making ODM very uncomfortable. If you go to Rongo today, UDA has like 60% of Rongo, while ODM lags behind with another 40%. That is what is making the ground a little bit uncomfortable, because the reality is UDA has already what? Made inroads.
For me, once Raila took us to broad-based government, I saw that coming.
Okay.
Because the Luos, for example, they are people who love once. They never think twice in terms of loving.
Okay.
So the Luos, if you look at them very keenly, they are in serious love with Dr. William Samoei Ruto. So human beings would always love anything associated to the person they love.
Okay.
But now they're reaching at a point where now we have ODM and we have Ruto that we love. And Ruto also has his train that is coming with.
Okay.
So people are getting confused. That is why you realize there are some people who really love ODM, but they'll still support a candidate brought by Ruto. Not really because they hate ODM, but because they don't want to disappoint the gentleman. So UDA will make a lot of inroads to Nyanza. Not because Nyanza people are tired with ODM, but because they fear disappointing Ruto. Because now they'll feel that UD and ODM is one thing.
Sure.
So we can support any, as long as the leader coming in position will serve the interest of the people. But sometimes I also have a second thought. Our democracy has matured to the point that if UD and ODM can work together, it means they are going to serve one single interest.
You're right.
Therefore, we should now look for leaders. Either you can be in ODM or you can be in UDA.
But you have personal attributes that take the people out of bondage, out of problems.
But now, where the problem comes, politics, there's betrayal.
You're right. Sure.
At the end of the day, the interest of ODM maybe in future and UDA might diverge.
You're right.
Then now you are reaching at a point where now ODM, because of the love for the president, you give the president all seats.
Fear of unknown.
Yes. now each of us have got different directions. ODM is left with nothing. So now you begin crying. You're waiting for another election. And when you're waiting for that election, then the person is strategizing.
You're right.
Yeah, so that is why now zoning comes in. But we still love Ruto.
Although the last time you were in this show, I was still on ODM before we delve into matters, the presidency. We were trying to figure out what is the longevity of your party leader, Oburu Odinga, as actually the party leader, bona fide party leader for ODM. But I've also realized that lately he has been able to, vindicate himself. He's a different brand from what we used to see. What is the trick?
I told you to take this to the bank.
I did.
Oburu was the pillar and the brain behind Raila Odinga.
Okay.
Raila was only charismatic and had the energy to do it. But again, sometimes politics is not what you see on podiums and political rallies. It must be cooked behind the curtains. So that is where Oburu was coming in. Even the broad-based government that we're talking about, Oburu was at the epicenter of negotiating for this.
Okay.
So Oburu has been within corridors of power. He understands what is called power dynamics.
Okay.
And Oburu is not a populist. So Oburu had at the end of the day to survive in ODM because he understands ODM, he understands structures of ODM. He was the pillar of ODM when Raila was existing.
Okay.
So in the exit of Raila Odinga, now he was very ready to face everybody and tell them, I was the pillar. Okay. And indeed, people today are confirming Oburu was the pillar.
Indeed, he was.
And that is why I was saying, when Raila was alive, sometimes people could celebrate Oburu and say, no, Oburu is really giving Raila directions. Not knowing that a time would come that now we ought to remember such statements.
Sure.
So Oburu will still succeed in ODM. And I want to tell you, even on 27th, when people shall be going for NDC, I'm trying to think it is going to be one of the best. More than even what Raila ever did.
Kenyans are asking, not just myself, can Oburu offer anything better than the political rhetorics that we are listening to? Tunataka power, and the other comic, political rhetorics. Of what material is Oburu made of when now it comes to, power negotiation?
Oburu is made of, I could say, steel.
Okay.
If you're talking about the material.
Yeah.
Because all this, let's say maybe the handshakes, the cooperations Raila has been having, Raila has been talking about, we are doing this for the interest of our people. And from the information I have, it is Oburu who has always been pushing Raila to do these negotiations.
Okay.
Because you look at, if you're very keen, before Raila made any handshake kind of, Oburu sometimes came very bitter and talked. Then after that, you realize Raila made some step.
Okay.
Because I even remember in 2023, before Raila went for the broad-based government in 2024, there is sometimes that Oburu really talked bitterly to Dr. William Ruto, and even told Dr. Ruto, if you dare kill Raila,
sure,
then this will not be a country.
Right.
After some few days, Raila called off the demonstrations. After some few weeks, we saw the NADCO team, people beginning to sit down to negotiate.
Sure.
So Oburu, in my view, I think he has not been on the limelight, but he has been the champion of resources that are supposed to be going to the Nyanza region.
Okay.
It has been Oburu pushing for such. Because now Raila is not there. But these projects are being launched in Nyanza. It means as much as Ruto has a goodwill, but there must be people also pushing you, apart from pushing you, reminding you.
Okay.
And Oburu is in front. So I believe the material of Oburu is a real material that can bring change in terms of economy of a given region. Yes. Because
like
Oburu
what you're witnessing right now.
Yeah, what we are witnessing currently. Because Oburu, I'm also told he has some elements of economics in him.
Okay.
So he understands how to improve an economy of an area. And that is why you realize Mbadi is talking about infrastructure fund. Once Mbadi has explained it quite well, Oburu would go to podiums and celebrate Mbadi about infrastructure fund.
Yeah.
Then at the same time, we are seeing the Rironi being opened. We are seeing the SGR, the railway. We are seeing hospitals being improved.
Sure.
We are seeing to a tune of 298 kilometers in Homa Bay alone.
The Lake Victoria Ring Road.
Yes. So Oburu is a real test for the Nyanza region and the former backyard of Raila Amolo Odinga, the areas that Raila Amolo Odinga really had roots in, running all the way from the coast, going all the way from the Turukana area, Kisii, Nyanza region, the former Western province. Those regions need to see Oburu Odinga differently. It's only that after the death of a king, there must be struggle in the kingdom.
That is true.
So the struggle in the
Speaking
kingdom...
of struggle in the kingdom, I think this is the point why I bring in Winnie Odinga. There are a lot of hearsays that, Winnie is coming in as deputy party leader of the ODM party. Where does that leave the rest of the ODM members who are bona fide, to also take up that position? Because now people feel that we are taking kings to take over a party that belongs to a nation. I would call it a nation because now ODM is a national party. Yeah, it is only second to the UDA, which is the ruling party, but ODM we've known from time memorial.
For me, it is quite unfortunate. In 2002, when we formed NAC, one of the main reasons Raila said Kibaki Tosha was constitutionalism.
Okay.
They wanted to bring a new constitution that really understood what the people wanted. So when NAC came to power, unfortunately, Kibaki regime threw away Raila and his team, and they left the NAC regime. And they began a movement in the name of the Orange movement. So this Orange movement later on became a political party. So ODM was formed or was founded on social justice, economic justice, and sometimes to the extent of political justice. It was a people's party.
Okay.
You get the point?
I get the point.
That is why even after the founder members of ODM like Dr. William Ruto, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, Kalonzo Musyoka, Mudavadi left, but ODM still existed.
You're right.
Because ODM was not those leaders. ODM was the people. So now coming to Winnie, Winnie is the daughter to a king who was leading a people's party. You get the point?
Sure.
As a daughter to a king who is leading a people's party, you can feel that the party that your father is leading is a personal party or a personal property, which it is not. I was feeling that Winnie needed to fight for her space within the party and find a position within the party, not on the background that I'm the daughter of Raila Odinga.
Okay.
You get the point? Dr. Oburu Odinga, who is a blood brother of Raila Odinga, never held any position within the party.
During Raila's reign?
During Raila's reign.
Okay.
Because he knew that this was not a family thing.
Okay.
So Winnie, in my thinking, that is not, I don't think if that is her thought. There are certain individuals who are pushing Winnie to come for this.
Name them.
For example, I think Aladwa is at the center.
Aladwa Makadara.
Yes. Why am I saying this?
What is the interest that Aladwa has on all this?
Aladwa must have an interest. Aladwa is the party chair, ODM Nairobi. And is already building interest to become the governor of Nairobi.
I'm aware of that.
So, and we are also going for NDC. So Aladwa must find a way of galvanizing Nairobi support. Not really behind him, but behind a force that is around him. Because if you look at the event that was organized that talked about Winnie being given a position as a deputy party leader, it was organized by Aladwa.
You're right.
The rest of the ODM leaders were not there.
Okay.
And even when we're talking about Nairobi delegates, the people that were taken there, yes, delegates were there, but most of the people that were there were just normal supporters of ODM who are mobilized on the streets. Because who are delegates of a party? Delegates of a party, especially in Nairobi context, there are people that have leadership position within the polling stations, within the ward, within the constituency, and even within the county level. Some were there, some were not there. All of a sudden, they're coming that as Nairobi City delegates, we are endorsing Winnie to be the deputy party leader of ODM. Winnie qualifies. But look at the situation. Oburu, the uncle of Winnie, is the party leader.
You're right.
Winnie, the deputy party leader. So is it Odinga party?
That is where now we left as a...
But I'm very sure, and again I want to tell you, take this to the bank. Winnie is not going to be a deputy party leader. Winnie might be part of the NEC.
Okay.
She can't be nominated to the NEC because, you know, NEC now is a cream also. But Winnie cannot be a deputy party leader. And she knows it. Oburu also knows it.
For a second, this issue of Winnie betraying Babu and Sifuna, what's your take on it?
Winnie has not betrayed Babu and Sifuna.
What's happening?
Winnie had an interest in the party. Babu had an interest in the party. Edwin Sifuna had an interest in the party. So these were people who were pushed to one corner because of some convenience. Winnie had issues with the structure of the party, so she had to complain about it. The same time, Babu and Sifuna. So they were found in one corner. So Winnie has been accommodated. Maybe what she was complaining about has been corrected. Or it has been addressed. So she's back to the mainstream. And at no point did Winnie run away from ODM. She was talking within the party. She wanted changes within the party. Those changes is what maybe she's now seeing light at the end of the day. So that is why she's aligning herself better. And even she said it. This was a party that was led by my father, Raila Odinga.
You're right.
So where was I going to? I was within the party. It is only that I had to question certain things that I feel were not being done right. So Winnie has not betrayed Babu and Sifuna. It is only that the people read a different thing from what was happening at that point in time. And I told you here the other day, at that point in time, the king had died. Each and every person had to find their space. Because we had a king who glued all of us. But it doesn't mean that we were below the king as friends. So in an event the king is done, each of us is finding their positions within. So that is what was happening between Babu and Sifuna and Winnie. Winnie has not betrayed them.
I know my director is telling me that time is not on our side, but then we have to Capitol Hill. They've been here saying that, Winnie took over Capitol Hill, and she actually decided to have it and throw away her uncle Oburu. On the other side, Oburu has decided to, sack all the, the staff of Raila's office. What are we witnessing right now? Or is just the dailies are trying to make headlines that will sell?
You're bringing it nicely, but I think this thing is just being propagated to bring a situation or a scenario that there is serious fight within the Odinga family and the ODM party. What is the Upper Hill office? That was a private office of Raila Amolo Odinga. Oburu is not Raila. That was not Oburu's office. So when Raila died, that became a private property of the family of Raila, not Odinga family. You know? So Winnie is saying that she doesn't want anybody around that office. That is in black and white. People are just tying it to Oburu to bring a scenario that Winnie and Oburu are in not good terms. And at no point did Oburu claim that office. And I'd never even seen Oburu going to that office to go and claim it as in now office, because the Upper Hill office was a private office of Raila.
Unlike the Orange House.
Yes. Orange House was never a private office of Raila. The office at Orange House is the official office of the party leader of ODM. If Omondi Oloo becomes the party leader of ODM today, I must be in that office. And when I get to that office, common sense will tell everybody, I need to get to that office with my staff. You've said it very clearly. There was staff of Raila. So, Oburu coming to that office to ensure that office runs in the manner he wants it to run, he must align the office with his ideologies. So he has not sacked Raila's staff. Their time is done. They have to leave. Oburu gets in with people that he feels are going to sell his agenda. So if these staff don't respect Oburu, they don't listen to Oburu, how do you expect Oburu to work with them?
You're right.
Oburu must come with his own people that are going to sell the idea and how he wants that party to run.
Although far from ODM, we know that the presidency comes with its feet. There are measurements that you have to, adhere to when it comes to the presidency. Now, the Kenyans were saying, the president has been, humiliated for quite some time. I think it is his time to shine. There was a section of Kenyans who are saying, it is unpresidential to take a podium and, say certain things as a president. Umenona sana, energy, kondesha, and things like unashuta kwenye mikutano. What is your take on that?
I don't think that is unpresidential. Why am I saying I don't think it is unpresidential? Out of all that the president said, if you single each word by word, there is no single abuse.
I agree.
It's only that there is saying things that most of us fear talking about.
Very uncomfortable about.
Very uncomfortable. Because look, I'm Omondi Oloo. I want to contest for MCA in Umoja 2 ward, for example. Then I decide at around the basketball court, I call a political rally. Yes. I want to talk to the people. Why should I sleep in that rally?
It's uncalled for.
It means I don't respect those people.
You're right.
I don't respect their time. It means I even don't know what I'm doing. So Ruto did not even mention somebody's name. Oburu has been sleeping in rallies. Matiang'i has slept in a number of rallies. Gachagua has slept.
True.
My woman representative, Osoko Bensouda, she's sleeping every day.
She's on Piriton.
Yes, she's on Piriton. But now, in my mother tongue, though it is not very friendly, it is said that Jakodo your name has not been mentioned, but because you did that, you'll want to fight.
You agitated yet you haven't been mentioned.
Yes. So Ruto is only trying to remind these people because they told him amekonda. So he's trying to justify the reason as to why he has that, maybe for example, physique. He's telling them, I'm intelligent enough to know when to cut weight so that I can think about serious issues that are pertaining to national interest and development. I cannot just overeat, and overeating and fatness goes with sleeping and laziness. So everything that Ruto said, he said it openly, so each person is just picking the section that touched them.
But I think it's not a signal that once you elect these guys, they will sleep in office.
Yes, it's trying to tell us that don't make a mistake. If these people are in the opposition, they can eat this way. They get this too fat. What of if now? waingie kwenye mafuta.
Yeah.
So watakuwa nguruwe.
You're right.
So they'll not be doing anything meaningful. They are not comfortable in opposition and they dare sleep. So what of now if they're in State House where nobody can tell you anything? So you'll be sleeping from morning to evening.
Sure.
So I don't think it was unpresidential. And in fact, Ruto is only taking 0.1% of his time to respond to them and just tell them, you know, don't misguide Kenyans. And he's trying to give them reasons as to why he feels they should not misguide Kenyans.
Right.
Because he's talked about, I don't know the truth behind this, but it's the president has talked about it, that there is one individual who is a cold blood murderer, who is a black sheep with a black heart, who impregnated a lady and later on killed. So leave alone the abuse. Talk about that issue.
True.
Do somebody deserve being killed? You don't deserve.
Sure.
So why are we forgetting about the human justice for this lady that was killed?
On the flip side,
yes,
there are Kenyans who are asking, why did Ruto allow a cold-blood murderer to serve him as deputy president? Like, just did he not know that he was coming at a point in time with with blood in his hands?
We must accept something here.
Convenience, time?
Convenience and time, actually.
Okay.
But look at it this way. I talked about Machiavelli. He's a realist just like myself. I believe in the end justify the means.
Okay.
Ruto wanted to help Kenya. But in helping Kenya, he had to become the president. You know? So, he was looking at, how am I going to become the president first? Because that is when I'm going to serve the people. So maybe if he could not have picked Gachagua, he might not have got the opportunity to become president. Therefore, Ruto could not have got the opportunity to launch SGR.
Right.
Ruto could not have got the opportunity to make Russia hospital to be level 6.
Right.
Ruto could not have got the opportunity to build Rusinga Ring Road, to build the Lake Victoria Ring Road that is going all the way to Tanzania. Ruto would not have got an opportunity to build the Mau Rironi Summit.
You're right.
You know, Ruto would not have got the opportunity to build Talanta Stadium.
You're right.
Ruto would not have got an opportunity to build another stadium within the city of Kisumu. Ruto would not have got an opportunity to expand the Kabunda Hairstrip. Ruto would not have got the opportunity to finish Raila Odinga Stadium in Homa Bay.
We even have Migori Stadium
Look at
in
that.
the backyard.
Ruto would not have got the opportunity to again build the stadium in Migori. Ruto would not have got the opportunity to make the fish landing sites that we have along Lake Victoria.
Right.
Ruto would not have got the opportunity to improve the sugarcane farming along the sugarcane belt region. So Ruto looked at this. For me to help the people, I must be at the helm. So how can I be at the helm? I need to do my politics best.
Sure.
You get the point?
Okay.
So he did his politics best. Then now finally, that is why you realize now Gachagua is impeached. Look at the backgrounds as to why Gachagua was impeached. Gross misconduct. For example, mistreating the wife of the brother. And in fact, Ruto mentioned that when he was in Western. So it means you're already seeing what Ruto was doing. He picked this gentleman so that he could get an opportunity to serve the people. And that is how politics is. Realists, those who believe, not realists, but idealists, they never get to the position of being in power. Raila was one of them.
You're right.
Raila was an idealist. He believed in ideas.
Sure.
Minus being a realist who are looking things in black and white. If I cannot pass it through this direction, then let me pass it through this direction. And that is why Mbadi always tells you that once you've got inside the house, you are inside the house. It doesn't matter through which route you got into the house. You can get through the window, you can get through the endambewa like he says it, you can get through the door. And he related to football.
Sure.
And you know he also supports Manchester United. He's also a student of Carrick football. He says that in politics and in football, there are some times that you can dribble the ball like Messi. When people need the team to shine, he builds football so that people can enjoy the tiki-taka thing. Then there's sometimes that we need somebody like Cristiano who has the shooting power, somebody who can pursue, somebody who can run.
You're right.
Then finally, at the end of it, wakati wa kulala salama, it wants somebody like Mbeumo, somebody like Bruno who will just go. Yeah. And if they find the ball with the chest, they score. Yeah. Or even if they find it with the hand, when the referee is not seeing, then it has gone into the net.
For Casemiro. From the midfield.
It is a goal. Yeah. So that is also Ruto.
Sure.
So he believes in getting into the house. After he's already inside the house, that is when now he gets back to senses and checks, I'm supposed to be doing this, I'm supposed to be doing this, so that the people can feel better.
Do you have a feeling that Gachagua should, just switch off his mic for a minute and take responsibility for the death of that particular lady?
He should, but he cannot.
Why then?
Gachagua has made everything political, and that is how he's surviving.
Okay.
So as a politician, he's very right, but as a leader, he's not. As a politician, you also need survival as a politician. So he must politicize everything. In an event today, Gachagua will switch off his mic and begin talking about this lady. He will be done. But when he shifts everything and makes this political, it would be a rhetoric like any other statement that you hear in the political space.
Right.
And in fact, the issue of that lady is almost done because it was made political.
Right.
Yes, I was personally thinking about writing a letter to the Chief Justice to maybe seek guidance on how the lady that the president talked about can seek justice.
Right.
So that she can tell us through which avenues or through which directions can that lady get justice, as much as the issue has been politicized. Okay. But now the nature of Kenya, people never think of such direction. But at the end of the day, in the course of this next week, I must also write a letter to the Chief Justice seeking clarification. And even finally, write a petition.
I think that will be taking responsibility as a Kenyan,
yes,
who means well for another Kenyan, definitely, or another family. Now, I want us to clear up in 3 minutes something. Give me at least 5 or 6 reasons why you think Ruto has the numbers to get a second term. I know we have development. I know we have the political angle. We have the political party base, and we have other things. Kindly. From your school of thought?
From my school of thought, we have what is called politics of continuity or leadership of continuity. There are certain projects or programs that cannot only run for a short period like for five years. Ruto have long-term projects which his ideology, he believes how they need to be done. So therefore, he needs to be given an ample time to finish such projects. For example, the Mauri-Roni Summit, it's not a project that is going to end tomorrow. Sure. It needs the person who championed it, because it is that person who understood what it is going to bring to this country. When the SGR was coming from Mombasa, it was said that it had to stop in Naivasha because it was not viable going the other side.
Okay.
Sure. But now Ruto has said it is viable. So it means it is him as the vision bearer of his government. Yeah. He knows how it is going to help his country grow economically. So one, development has to be the first reason as to why we are giving Ruto the second chance. Because if we leave everything out of question, then we be open and look at what is happening in Kenya. Kenya has turned to be a construction site. It is only that we are crying because there is no money in the pocket.
Sure.
But in terms of growing the infrastructure of a country, Ruto has done it more than any other president ever tried to do in this country. Okay. Much even far from Kibaki. Number two, I must also talk about the political aspect.
Numbers.
For you to win the presidency, you need numbers.
Sure.
You need to have a matrix that is going to give you the winning formula. So the winning formula, now you must go back to the table and begin calculating. If I pick Nyanza, for example, what numbers is it going to bring to me? When I mix it with the Somali, for example, what is it going to give me? I mix it to the Turkana. I mixed with the coast. What percentage is it going to give me? That is one, so that I can get the 50 plus 1. Number two, which counties am I going to control? Because for you to become the president, there's a threshold. At least 25 counties. You must be winning in such counties. So those are metrics that Ruto must look at. Number two, you must also be in a position to have a majority in parliament. So Ruto must ensure the constituencies that we have in this country, and he's controlling them in a way already, so that at the end of the day, he gets numbers in parliament. When we were at KICC, when ODM and UDA had a parliamentary group meeting, it was to a tune of 200 plus MPs, members of parliament, who just went to listen to Ruto and ODM talking about the 10-point agenda and how they can form an alliance towards 2027. So in terms of a winning formula, strategy, Ruto has it. Because I want to tell you, the only place that Ruto has lost in 2022 election is Mount Kenya. And he has not lost it to 100% vote for him. It is only a section that he has lost.
Okay.
People talk about Mount Kenya to have votes that Ruto cannot retain anywhere. And I look at them and sympathize. Ruto had 87% of Mount Kenya in 2022.
You're right.
Today, as we are speaking, that 87% to total cast votes. So pick that 87% to be 100% Ruto's votes from Mount Kenya. Then now give it in terms of percentage. What has he lost from that 100% that he has? Right. Maybe he has lost 40%, or maybe even give it 60%.
Sure.
So the number that is remaining is enough for Ruto to use to mix with other regions so that he can get power.
Yeah.
Come to 2007. NTV report is telling us Raila won the elections without the Mount Kenya that gave Ruto 87%.
You're right.
So how then is Ruto not going to win the elections in 2027 when he has left that Mount Kenya, and not even to 100%? Maybe it is 60% that has left him. Because be rest assured, if Professor Kindiki remains to support Ruto, not as a deputy even president, remains to support Ruto, he's going to get good numbers in Mount Kenya East. And it is practical. There are by-elections that has happened in Mount Kenya East. Ruto has won those elections, and you've never even seen Ruto going to put his strength in campaigning for such position. It is Kindiki who has always been there. You expect it. So it means that as much as there is some hate for Ruto around the entire Mount Kenya, but there are some soft spots that still believe Ruto is going to win. Ruto is going to pick Rift Valley to a tune of 100%, because the person who was challenging Ruto in Rift Valley was Raila. Raila could pick South Rift, Ruto chukue North Rift. Sure. The person who could make Ruto not get votes in western part of Kenya is Raila. Raila is not there. Ruto is going to get a very good percentage because the group of people who are in western part of Kenya who are against Dr. Ruto, the only person who is strong is Natembeya, and he only has a county.
One out of many.
One out of many.
Okay.
The only person who could deny Ruto the votes from the coast is Raila. So coast is going to give Ruto votes.
Okay.
Because at least there are certain things he's giving them. I was telling people in Bunge that Ruto is hated because he has brought what is called equitable distribution of resources.
Sure.
I did some little research. Between the years 2018 and 2017 and 2018, Uhuru's regime, the number of times Uhuru and Ruto went to Mount Kenya to launch projects was 98 times. They only went once
Sure.
to the coast. Mm-hmm. So that was not equitable distribution of resources.
Right.
Currently, broad-based government, if you can look the number of times Ruto has gone to different parts of the country, so comparatively to Mount Kenya, they're almost the same.
You're right.
You'd realize the difference is 1, 2, 3,
Okay.
which is normal because of the structure of the country.
You're right.
So Ruto is trying to distribute resources to the country equitably. So I think Ruto is going to win by landslide.
Ladies and gentlemen, fans and followers of the MC Lang Katalang show here on Mzuka Kibao TV, that has been, political analyst Omondi Oloo. He says that he's going to vie for presidency in the year 2054. I don't know when, whether. But that is all for today. I think let us see how the week goes, and let us see whether the president and his economic tour trail is going to yield fruits before we get to the campaigns. Thank you so much, Omondi Oloo, for coming. Asante sana wakuja kwenye Mzuka Kibao TV.
Thank you. As I finish, I just wanted to say something before we just end.
Please do.
There's one woman in the name of Gladys Wanga.
Homa Bay
County.
Okay.
This is one woman that people are really fighting. But sometimes I have a soft spot for her. If you look at Kenya currently, it is only one single woman that everybody is talking about. Mm-hmm. That is Gladys Wanga. If you look at the person people fighting in Orange Democratic Movement, apart from Oburu Odinga, is Gladys Wanga. And when I was growing up, I stayed with my grandmother and Nyakadem, and she used to tell me that that tree that has a lot of fruits is the tree that you'll always realize each and every evening you'll find people sitting below it, or stones are being thrown to that tree. So
the same Wanga who doesn't honor Senate, hearing.
No. She honors. It is only that we are failing.
The same Wanga who's deputy governor, left for other.
there was what we call the governor's council. What they said about the Senate, just as I conclude.
Okay.
You know, Senate and the people who are calling governors to Senate, they have always been there to just siphon money from these governors. So sometimes it doesn't even make sense. For example, Nairobi City County, we have a lot of problems. Sakaja has been called to that place a number of times. Have you ever seen any change? So instead of leaving Gladys Wanga to go and serve the people, to go and serve members of Homa Bay County, you call her there, which is not going to bring anything at the end of the day. And leave alone even that. How many people have failed to go to Senate when they've been called? Is it only Gladys Wanga?
Listen, I think my governor Chilako has appeared in the Senate almost 98%, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, he has.
But Gladys for once was called for accountability, and her people became very aggressive. Why? Against their own senator.
It is fine. It is fine. But now, you've said Ochila has gone there 98 times.
Yeah, 98%.
98%, yeah. Sorry. Then maybe Wanga has gone 0.1%. Then from your own angle, try looking at how Wanga is trying to mobilize resources to go to Homa Bay. And Ochilo is trying to organize resources or mobilize resources to go to...
Actually.
Almost the same. But slightly Wanga is ahead. So the 98% you're talking about, I don't think it makes sense. Because you look at even the kilometer of roads built only in Homa Bay County, 298. Migori County cannot even reach closer to that.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll take the Gladys Wanga conversation to our next podcast. Thank you so much for staying with us here on the MC Lang at Lang Show, Mzuko Kibao TV. Asanteni sana.
Thank you very much.
Remember to subscribe.